We're here at the 2024 BCI conference recording in the EpiPOD studio. I'm your host, Jada Monet, and we're here with Derek Miner.
Hey, what up?
How are you?
I'm straight. I'm in Atlanta. I'm at the BCI conference. I'm getting to talk to you. It's amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome. We're so glad to have you in the building today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I know that you're a music artist.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else besides make music?
Yes, so I have a nonprofit called Ownership is the New Black. Well, it's called We Own now. And it's all about helping build financial literacy and underserved Black communities because I really feel like that's super important. I also own the record label that puts out my music. And yeah, I like to consider myself a serial entrepreneur and tinkerer. I like to mess with new things. So,
That is awesome. So what inspired you to get into that creative side of yourself?
Well, I think I've always been that way. So, like, my mom would bring, computers home, even lawnmowers. Like, I would just take them apart because I like to know how things work. And that curiosity has always led me to find out, like, how does something work? I'm not okay with just being in something that works. I have to understand it. So, I remember during the time when Trump was in office and there was a lot of racial unrest, I wanted to know why. Like, that was a thing. I've always been like, it's really easy for us to accept something, but I was like, man, I want to know why. And what I found is that oftentimes our biggest issue as Black folks is that we don't really own things a lot. And it's the ownership is where the power is at, the owning of things and being able to capitalize off of that. So that's why I wanted to say, let me teach my people like how to own things, not just to lease them or get paid, exchange time for money, right?
That's powerful. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I can definitely say that you have been an inspiration to me.
Hey.
Listening to your music growing up is awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And you also make music for the youth. You know, some youth don't really like the old school gospel. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good, but it gives them something different to listen to than the, worldly music.
Absolutely.
And I was just listening to one of your songs the other day, Who You Know. That is my song.
Thank you.
That is my song.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the inspiration for me, as far as that is concerned, is I want to create things that impact culture where it's at. It's really easy for us to try and force a certain idea or certain things on people. But, man, I want to meet people where they're at because that's what Jesus did.
Yes.
Right? Like all of the parables and things that we talk about planting seeds and things like that is because he was talking to an agrarian culture. He was talking to people that planted seeds and that were shepherds and all of that. So, like, for me, it's always about taking big concepts and distilling them down to where everyone can understand it.
Right.
So I don't care what the medium is. I don't care what it is. I just want to do that.
Yes. Well, that is powerful. And also, along your journey, what are 3 key lessons you've learned?
Oh, number 1 is patience. Oftentimes, the easiest way to take a loss is to be impatient. That's when most people take losses. Right. That's why you notice if you're ever in a sales call, they try to rush you to make a decision that day because they don't want you to think about it. Right. That's really the main reason. So I think patience would be number 1. I think number 2 for me would be community is extremely important. And then time. Like you have to value your time and you have to be able to set boundaries for yourself to be able to recharge and rejuvenate. I believe that's why the Bible made having a Sabbath part of the commandments because everybody needs a chance to rest.
Yes.
And if you can't rest, then you're no different from a slave.
Yes. Yeah. That's powerful. So what are you up to now?
Well, right now it's putting out new music. It's growing the Ownership is a New Black. So we have a cohort that we're doing that we take young entrepreneurs and we try to prepare them for ownership. Like, what does it look like to hire staff? What does it look like to scale and all those different things? But yeah, it's music. It's growing a record label, and it's hopefully being a voice that impacts culture in a positive way. That's my main goal.
Yes, that's awesome. So with all of this great things that you're doing, where can they find you to tap in?
Oh, yeah, it's easy. DerekMiner.com. You can find me on social media at The Derek Miner on every platform. And I do answer all my DMs, so tap in with me. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, and we're so happy to have you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Jada Monet. Don't forget to follow us on all platforms at Riverside Epicenter.